Hey guys, so it is late July and it is the time of the year where most of us gardeners have stopped planting for the most part, and all we're trying to do is keep up with our gardens, keep things alive, keep things in check, and keep things from looking completely overgrown and unruly. So today I'm going to take you through 5 things that I'm doing today to help things look a little bit more tidy and a little bit more well-maintained. I'm starting here along the fence line garden. Now, if you guys have been following me for a little while, you guys know the backstory of this, but if you're new here, let me just quickly explain. This was the first garden that I started about 6 or 7 years ago when we moved into this house, and I was very new to gardening, and I did what I think many new gardeners do, which was basically buy anything and everything that appealed to me at the garden center and shove everything all into one small space, and it just looked like a mess. So basically what I've been doing over the last 6 months or a year is trying to edit that space out and have it look a lot more cohesive and more put together. Earlier this season, what I had done was I gave both this black cap pussy willow over here and this dappled willow a very, very harsh prune back. Now, if anybody knows anything about willows, you know that they grow very, very aggressively. And these two, in the matter of just 2 months, have completely exploded. So the first thing that I've already done was trimmed back the dappled willow, and that alone has given it so much of a better impact to what it looks like. It doesn't look so overgrown. Now, I would be careful in terms of what you're trimming back and what you're not. Something like a boxwood, if it's really, really hot, those leaves can scorch if you're not careful. So do one of 2 things. Either pick a couple days where you see a break in the forecast where it's not going to be so hot, or you see rain coming up, just so that those leaves don't scorch, and just give it a very light trim. Something like a dappled willow that is really, really hardy, that grows rapidly and aggressively, I'm not so cautious about that because I know it's going to be just fine. Now, the second thing that I did that could really help your gardens look a little bit more tidy is just take this dappled willow and limb it up so it looks more like a tree form rather than just an overall shrub. That also allowed me to give it some breathing room at the base and allow some more air circulation to come through. So not only does it look better and more attractive and more interesting to the eye, it also serves a purpose in terms of allowing the plants beneath it to breathe. Now, because dappled willow grows so quickly, or any type of willow grows so quickly, limbing it up, basically, which means just cutting off the branches at the bottom, you're going to get a lot of suckers. So I put this Bonide sucker punch on it, but you do want to be careful to not get this on your skin because it could irritate your skin, and then God forbid it gets into your eyes. That could cause a whole lot of other trouble too. So let me show you how I did that. All right, so you'll notice that I put on some latex gloves for this process. The reason being that this can cause skin or eye irritation if it gets anywhere that you don't want it. So just as an extra precaution, I use something that's disposable. Also, you want to be careful in terms of how you apply this. You only want to apply this to areas where you want the suckers to stop growing. And you want to be careful around the crown of the plant because that could actually cause the shrub or the tree to die back a little if you're not careful using it. So I'm just going to gently paint this on. Now, the third thing that you can do is cutting back your perennials, which I have now come to learn is called the Hampton hack. I guess we feel like we have to name everything around here. But there's a Chelsea chop that happens in May. There's the Hampton hack that happens in late July. Now, there's 2 ways to go about doing it. Something like a salvia, you can cut off that first flush of blooms and cut it back by maybe about 6 to 12 inches up off the ground, and it'll re-flush out a second flush of blooms for you. Now, just as a reminder, that second flush is never as strong as that first flush, but regardless, you still get a second flush of blooms. For me, I'm going to cut back something completely that's probably not going to grow again, and that's this northern oats seagrass. So with all the harsh weather and storms that we've had, this grass has completely flopped over and looks like an overgrown mess. So I'm gonna cut this all the way back down to the ground because there's no way of saving this. I'm not going to throw any of the things that I cut back into the compost pile because my compost pile probably isn't going to get hot enough to make those seeds not viable, and then I'm running the risk of this grass popping up absolutely everywhere. So this is actually going right into the yard waste pile where it's going to be collected by the town. Now as I'm in here, it's exposing a lot of weeds that have grown. So I'm doing two things at once and weeding as I'm cutting this back. All right, so this is already starting to look significantly better, and it's given me an access point to the fountain so I can actually clean it out and give the birds a place to drink and play. Now, perennials aren't the only thing that can be cut back. For example, this sweet potato vine is really starting to impede on this walkway. So I'm going to give it a haircut. You can also do that with petunias as some of them start to get really leggy, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. All right, so now for the petunias. So this isn't for the faint of heart because I am going to be cutting off all these blooms, and I think a lot of times people are a little unhappy about cutting off their blooms. I frankly am too, and was when I first started gardening, but it is really for the benefit of what it's going to look like later on. So a lot of gardeners, more experienced gardeners, also say that if you're going to do something like this and you're nervous and you don't want to look at something that's going to not look as appealing for the next couple of weeks, do it right before you're going on vacation, and it should have flushed out by the time you get back. These particular petunias I grew from seed, and I really like how they came out. Now I don't know if I messed up and mixed up the seeds or if it was the variety, but there's a lot of different colors in here, so I think I'm going to do a better job in terms of paying attention to that next year. But all I'm going to do is just hack it back. Now, one of the things that has really helped me, that has been really helpful in terms of having tools at the ready when I'm just walking my garden, is I just get a really cheap pack of scissors from either Amazon or the dollar store, and I keep them tucked in some of my larger pots. So this way, if I'm doing a quick 5-10 minute garden walkthrough and I want to quickly cut something back, I don't need to go dig out my tools from the shed, figure out where everything is, clean everything. I can just quickly reach in, cut things back, and be on my merry way. So I have this tucked into my pot here with my snowball viburnum, and I'm just going to take it and cut it back. Now all this is going to do is help it grow back in a nice tighter form and not be so leggy over the next couple weeks. It's going to give, we have to give it a couple weeks of recovery time, but it is just going to be just fine, and that's it. Now, if you have something that is more of a singular stem, you don't need to cut that back, obviously. All you have to do is stake it. Now, I got these stakes off of Amazon. I got them a while ago. I use them for my gladioli, but I also use it for anything that has gotten tall and flopped over. And that's what I'm going to use here in this case. Now, this is another one where you can't use this for anything. It's really more for singular stems. If you have something that has multiple stems, you can't go around and stake something with 15 flower heads on it because it's going to look ridiculous. In that case, what you're going to need to do is cage it. And I can link all of that in the description box below if you guys are interested in looking into whether it be plant cages or the singular stem supports. But you need to make sure that if you are going to cage it, that cage is ready and in place by late May, very latest early June, because otherwise you're basically going to break off some of the plant trying to get the cage over it once it's flushed out. Now it should go without saying that as I'm doing all of these things, I'm also spot checking for weeds and weeding as I go, rather than making weeding one big task. Now the fourth thing that you can do to make things look nice and tidy is probably my least favorite thing, but that's to edge your beds. It's really important to edge your beds to make them look like they are very defined beds. The other thing that it helps with is weed suppression, because it keeps the lawn from starting to make its way into the bed and starting to spread those weeds. So I'm not going to do that right now because we are right in the middle of the day. It is very, very hot. So I'm going to wait until later in the evening or early in the morning to do it. But you can see the difference in terms of where I've edged and where I haven't, in terms of how much better it looks. The last thing that I'm going to recommend is around mulch. Now, I didn't get a chance to mulch this year because I still had, the mulch still looked okay by the time spring rolled around. But at this point, I've transplanted things, I've moved things around, I've planted new things, and a lot of that mulch has completely diminished. What I always recommend to my clients is always having extra bags of mulch lying around. So typically what I do is I get about 15 yards of mulch delivered in the early spring, and I get that on the garden beds. I do that once every year, once every other year. Then every time I head to my garden center, I always buy 2, 3, 4 extra bags of mulch of the same color, just to have a little bit of backstock, so that when I'm planting or when I need to refresh a bed or when I need to just spot check an area and just get a little bit of mulch in that one area, rather than having it be a really big job, then it's really just little patches that I need to fix up. It's also really cost effective because it's a lot more affordable to go to the garden center and pick up 2 or 3 bags of mulch rather than having to pick up a whole lot of mulch. And this really is what helps me keep that mulch nice and fresh and last a little bit longer, is the fact that I am able to fill in those holes a little bit at a time. Let me know how your gardens are doing right now. I know right now is the time where most of us struggle to get out there and keep up with things because it's just very, very hot. I recommend you guys try to do it either early in the morning or late in the evening. Look for that break in the weather. Make sure to stay hydrated and wear the appropriate clothing, and especially make sure you have sunscreen on. Stay safe. All that said, I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below as well, not just how your gardens are doing, but what other tips do you guys have in terms of keeping your gardens nice and tidy and healthy this time of year. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in the garden.